Hey everybody, it's your boy Deshaun here for another Apple Joe's. I'm really excited. Apparently my brain's stuck on apples. I had this really fancy thing I was going to say, it's cold outside, it's November, you know, it feels like Washington outside right now, and that can only mean one thing, that is the Apple Cup. Welcome to Average Joe Sports, the Apple Cup edition. But before we get into that, let me just give my heartfelt congratulations to the Seattle Sounders, even though we made it out of the first round of the playoffs, which is exactly what I wanted to see us do. So it's definitely a step in the right direction. Unfortunately, we came up short. We lost 4-2 aggregate to the LA Galaxy and landed douchebag Donovan, which irritates me, but that's besides the point. I'm still I still think this is a very good season for the Sounders. Yes, we didn't make it to the MLS Cup final, which I still think we are capable of doing, even with the team that we currently have. But getting out of that first round was the most important thing. We made it to that match, and we did good enough. We just came up really short in that first game, dropping 3 goals at LA. That did not help us, and we tried to get out of the hole like that last year against Real Salt Lake, and we got 2 goals. We just couldn't get that third goal in, and that's exactly what happened to us again in this round. We went down 3 goals to nil in the first game at LA. We came back up here, and we thought we could bring it back. I mean, we've got the tools, we've got the talent. We showed that we don't go out without a fight. But I really think that the team would have fared better if we had somehow gotten a goal while we were in LA, or if we were just down 2-0. Like, I would have been fine with 2-0. That isn't attainable. That's something that's attainable for us to get back from. But, again, it was still a really good season for the Sounders. We didn't win the US Open Cup, which I'm fine with, and we didn't get to the MLS Cup like I thought we could, considering that we didn't have to focus on the US Open Cup because we lost. But we made progress this season. I believe in Coach Schmidt. I do. I always have. I just wanted to see where the team was going to go. I'm not going to predict. I'm not going to say that we're destined to win the title next season, but I think now I can finally feel comfortable saying that we are a potential favorite and a potential threat to win said title. So, again, we came up short, but it's okay. Still Sounders till I die. Come on, Seattle. Fight and win. We'll get it next season. But on to more important issues. Apple Cup. Apple Cup. Yay! Apple Cup. It's that time of the year, man. Huskies, Cougs, the biggest game for us in the year. I know there are other rivalry games that are bigger, Michigan, Ohio State, UCLA, USC, which was a great game last week, let me tell you. Oh my God! USC! You're horrible! That is in response to a vlog that I saw earlier, but that's besides the point. It's on YouTube. Look it up. It's great. This is a big rivalry game for us because just like all rivalry games, Civil War, Apple Cup, USC, UCLA, Cal versus Stanford, you throw the records out the window. It doesn't matter. You can be the number 3 ranked team in the nation, and you can still lose this game, and that loss hurts even more. You can be 0-11, and you just need 1 win so that you can actually have a win on your schedule, and you don't get it done. You know what I'm saying? And you don't want to be that person to give up that loss, especially during rivalry week against your rival school. And this is one of those times. So Apple Cup, let's get to the stats. Let's have some fun. So last week on Saturday, both the Huskies and the Cougs played. Huskies played Colorado on Saturday in the early morning special, the 12 o'clock special here. I believe it was 10 o'clock in Colorado. Let me tell you, I haven't seen a 12 o'clock game in a really long time. And I don't like it. I don't want to have to get up that early ever again. However, brunch was awesome. Trevor Sherilyn, it was great. I had a great time. It was good times. Played a little Call of Duty. I loved it. But Keith Price had a really, really good game. You know, he after having a couple shaky games in the past couple weeks, went 22 of 29 for 248 yards and 5 touchdowns. 5 touchdowns! Are you kidding me? That's insane. And 248 yards, that's pretty average. That's about where he's going to be. You know, Keith Price should not have to throw the ball more than about 25 to 35 times. If he has to throw any more than that, you're going to see the interceptions. You're going to see a lot more inaccuracy. But the one thing I have seen from Keith Price is the fact that he's becoming smarter with the ball. Hey, I'll take 2nd and 10 over 2nd and 15. Okay? An incomplete pass, just throwing the ball out of the end zone, or just out of bounds in general, but throwing the ball out of bounds is always, it's a good option. You don't want to have to do it all the time, but the fact that he says, and he's seeing his progressions, he's not checking down as much as probably some people would like to see, but he's seeing that, hey, no one's open right now, and there's no room for me to run. So, let's just get the ball out of bounds. Let's do this all over again, okay? And that was the improvement I wanted to see from Keith Price. And there were a lot of people, especially after that Arizona shellacking that we took, which I was very disappointed in. But people were saying maybe it's time to bench Keith Price and put somebody else in. I specifically remember somebody on Facebook talking about, why did we get rid of Nick Montana? Well, you know, there are many, many reasons. First of all, he left on his own accord, and 2, well, he wasn't going to be that great anyway. Just saying. That's just my personal opinion. Deal with it. You know, you can taunt me about it later. But Keith Price is the guy, and he is going to be the guy that I think is going to take us to whatever bowl game we go to, because we're bowl eligible. That's going to happen. We want win number 8. In the other, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful news with Husky football, Bishop Sankey had a decent game. 23 carries, 139 yards, 1 fumble early in the game. You know, he's still got a case of butterfingers on occasion, and it does make me nervous anytime he has the ball, especially once he gets to that second level, and he's got defenders at his ankles, and also in his upper body where the ball is. I sit there and scream, just hang on to the ball, hang on to the ball. Those are the mistakes we have to avoid this week against Washington State. We cannot fumble. We cannot throw interceptions. Defense. I understand that this Colorado team isn't the greatest team on the face of the planet. I get it. They weren't all that great offensively either. They had some injuries as well. But they still managed to hold Colorado to 141 yards of total offense, which tells me they stuck to the guns, and whatever they've been doing on the defensive side of the ball is starting to show signs of it is working. Does it have a long way to go? Yes. Yes, it does. Because there are times where even we get abused on the running game. It seems like once teams go into a pass mode, that the SEC style of defense bodes well against the pass. It's always been the run that's always been the problem. So, well, we fixed one problem, and then the thing that we were actually doing well at, which was stopping the run for a little bit, that suddenly became our Achilles heel and our weakness. We need to find just that happy medium of limiting long runs. Again, sometimes the scheme, falls apart, and they just beat you on a 50-50 shot. That happens, you know what I'm saying? A broken tackle here, a juke there, and suddenly there's nothing but green and the end zone. Those things are going to happen. I can get behind that. But we got to make sure we limit mistakes also on the defensive side of the ball. I want to see that. I saw great improvement, against Colorado. We won 38-3, in case I didn't tell you the score. All in all, I feel comfortable in the Huskies going into Apple Cup weekend, which is also on Black Friday. Don't get me started. I think it's kind of lame, but that's besides the point. But, again, it's one of those games that no matter what your record is, you're going to run into problems. Something finicky always happens. That one play You know, you think it's going to be an interception, and Spider Gain somehow snatches the ball out of absolute defeat and comes in for a touchdown. You know, those things happen. So, I mean, you know, those are things you have to be careful of in a rivalry game. On to Wazoo and their abysmal stats. Cougs go into this game 2-9. Huskies come into this game going at 7-4, seeking that eighth win. Hopefully we can get that this week against the Cougs. Cougs, man, I don't even know what to say because I feel bad for them. I really do. They're having a really rough time of it. Again, they're coming in 2-9. They played ASU last week. They took a shellacking 46-7 loss in Tempe. And the quarterback situation still in flux. They used Connor Halliday for the past couple weeks because Jeff Toole's been out with injuries. But Halliday he was 13-33 for 173 yards, a touchdown, and 1 interception. Jeff Toole came in a little bit later in garbage time. He threw for 64 yards and an interception as well. Wazoo's defense has been giving up more defensive yards than I can imagine, and I feel the fans' pain because that was us last year, the year before that, also during the Tyrone Willingham era. We were giving up a lot of yards both in the air and on the ground. You know, that's something that, you know, you have to get used to, and it's also something that when you have new-ish defensive coordinators, you're trying to work out your schemes with the players that you have. Also, from what I've been hearing as well, there's a lot of discord going on with that team and also, you know, with the head coach as well. One of their star players quit because he felt that, you know, that the coach was being very abusive. Now he's got a history of this, so you know it's a tough situation out there in Palouse. That being said, these games have a tendency of going one of three directions. One direction, it's a rout on whether for one team or the other. Somehow, you know, it got to be Washington, you know, putting their foot down and saying, we are the big brother, we're going to stomp you in the mouth, and, you know, we score and we win 30-0. On the other hand, Huskies can come out flat. Wazoo takes advantage. They've got a little bit of energy. They're at home. You know, it's an exciting time. It's going to be cold. If it snows, that's something completely different because Wazoo plays well in the snow. So one thing I always want to make sure of, it doesn't snow. It can be cold to the bejesus. Just don't snow. When it snows, the Cougs have an advantage. I don't know what their record is in the snow, but I'm sure my Coug faithful will tell me that their record is pretty impressive in the snow. Plain and simple. We can't have a snow. But, you know, the Cougs get a little bit more confidence, you know, in front of the home crowd, and then they are the ones that rout us. Or there's option 3. It's, you know, just an absolute slobber knocker. For those of you guys who know what a slobber knocker is, that means it's just a really tough battle on both sides. And it turns out to be, you know, 14-7. You know, those are the 3 options. I'm actually leaning more towards option 3, and I do feel that the Huskies will win this game. I feel that they will. I honestly do. But it's going to be by the hairs of their chinny chin. I'm predicting 27-14. That's still really close. That means touchdowns are going to be scored. Means the Husky defense is going to make mistakes, but they're going to keep it together just enough to win and to bring the Apple Cup back home to Seattle where it belongs, which we've had it for the last couple of years now, which has been great. Believe me, I've been in the stadium when we've lost Apple Cups too. It's awful. I hate it. I never want to see it again. Let's keep winning the Apple Cup, guys. Plain and simple. That being said, I have a lot of sports things that I do need to catch up and vlog about, but I'm not going to take this time because I'm at about 15 minutes already in this wonderful vlog. I'm just excited. You know, it's college football. It's the last game of the season, and it's awesome. Down goes Oregon. What? Losing to Stanford in overtime? Way to go, guys. Again, I gotta go. You know, it's been great Apple Cup, go Dogs, beat the Cougs. Peace out. Make it happen. Woo!